Well, welcome back to Bitt Bytes. Today I'm joined by two of our experts. I've got Luke Bishop, who is a product manager here with Bitt, and Stephen Phillips, who you've met before, our Vice President of Special Projects. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Good. Now, Stephen, if you can just give us some context as to your roles within the Eastern Caribbean Central Banks or the ECCB's DCash pilot.
Sure. So I am the project lead on the Bitt side. I manage a number of teams from design and technology to account management and sales from the Bitt side, as well as I also contribute on a steering committee within the ECCB focused on the technology, looking at regulation, compliance, and a number of other matters to ensure the overall success of the technology and success of the pilot.
Good. What about you, Luke? What does a product manager do within the context of the DCash pilot?
Right. Well, thanks for the question. So basically on my end, I'm leading the testing of the retail applications, which is the DCash merchant and the DCash consumers. So that's testing with financial institutions, ECCB, staff and stakeholders. Also, I provide account management for 3 financial institutions, one in Antigua, one in Grenada, and also one in St. Lucia. So, and I also provide support for design and user experience for the same retail applications.
Oh, nice. So from a product manager's perspective, how has the pandemic affected the progress of the DCash pilot?
Right, so as you would imagine, there would be some delays. As you can imagine, we should be further along. But when the pandemic, struck last year, just around this time, actually, everyone was kind of scrambling, Bitt and the ECCB, all the stakeholders, we were all kind of seeing how we're going to open and how we're going to work. So there was a delay there, but luckily for both teams, we showed our mettle, both the ECCB and Bitt, we were able to get back to work quickly, and also I could say it really changed how we would have normally worked, because there was a plan, obviously, to visit these territories. Pilot plan to go and visit St. Kitts and be with the ECCB and work very closely with them. But then, we had to shift our program and learn how to work remotely. So that was a real, changing experience, but it was definitely, very good as well.
Okay. And Stephen, what about you from the project manager's perspective? How has the pandemic affected the pilot?
Yes, it's been a large challenge for us. This is quite a big project, very complex, lots of moving parts, lots of different stakeholders with different needs. So it's been difficult, especially, having to do everything remotely. To echo some of Luke's comments, it's been really challenging, forging relationships over Zoom, and being able to empathize, being able to relate to different points of views without being physically present. So it has required a lot of adaptation to the new kind of environment, and we were able to adapt quickly and to keep things moving to meet the ECCB's objectives.
Okay. So Luke, what have been some of the key management milestones of the DCash pilot so far?
Right, so for me, really, it was obviously testing the applications and gaining the feedback and making the changes on the fly on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. That was quite interesting. That was a very big milestone in my part of the project. Also training the financial institutions, training them, remotely, as Stephen said in the previous question, was challenging, but rewarding at the same time. Also with the training of the FIs, they're the frontline support for DCash to the consumers and merchants. So arming them with the requisite skills and confidence in order to deliver on this project from their standpoint was really big for myself, and I'm sure for Stephen and the rest of the team, because it really showed us really and truly where were as it relates to operational readiness for this pilot. So I would think those are really two big ones for me.
Okay. And Stephen, looking ahead, what will be the key management milestones for the DCash pilot from Bitt's perspective?
Well, for sure, the launch of the pilot is the next big milestone, and we expect to do that by the end of first quarter this year. Everything is in place. We've already enrolled financial institutions into the production environment, and we're just getting everyone set up and ready to go live at this stage. So launch is a key milestone. Another key milestone that we're excited about is expanding the pilot to all of the territories within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. So the initial phase of the pilot, the first 6 months, we will be limited to 4 territories: St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, and St. Lucia. After 6 months, we will then go ahead and expand the pilot to include all of the additional territories within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. So those are the two kind of really large milestones that we have in front of us, and we're excited to reach those milestones.
Good. Now, you both spoke about the complexity of managing remotely from your personal perspectives, but you both manage teams. What has it been like to manage different teams and their related contributions within the pilot, especially within the context of working remotely?
You know, managing remotely is working with some of the teams, you know, who were not accustomed to working remotely. You know, so I mean, there are teams where we work with sales, you know, we were the account managers, financial institutions, you know, the ECCB, you know, and working remotely with them took a lot of effort. You know, you had to dig real deep because we had to kind of shepherd some teams along. Some teams, you know, took like a duck to water, but some of them we had to shepherd a little bit longer. And I think that, you know, when you're co-located with your team that you're working with, you know, you build that rapport, you're able to read the room per se. But then when you're, you know, working remotely, it's kind of hard to build a chemistry with persons. So, you know, we had to learn how to build that chemistry through Zoom, you know, through other Microsoft Teams, whatever, you know, the conferencing software was. So that was, you know, an interesting experience. But, you know, is everyone who we have come into contact with, you know, as teams, you know, they all dug deep as well. And they were able to, you know, get the job done, you know, because we're very close to launch now. So.
What about for you, Stephen?
Yeah, I mean, I can only echo a lot of what Luke has said, to be honest. It has been challenging. You know, a lot of the key stakeholders within the financial institutions, they have a lot of competing priorities, especially with the pandemic and the second wave of infections going on. It's been challenging. You know, a lot of branches are closing down. People are just trying to grapple with their day-to-day operations. So having the pilot as well has been a huge challenge, but we do see the importance of the pilot for the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union and the potential impact that it will have on the lives of the citizens. So in general, you know, people are still motivated, but it has been challenging to be able to coordinate and to be able to empathize and to be able to drive the success of the pilot from being remote. You know, it's so much easier to go sit in a conference room, solve problems, provide solutions, and keep things moving. Having to do it by Zoom is a bit more challenging. So, but you know, we're as Luke said, we're up for the challenge, and we've been very successful in keeping things on time and within budget. It's been challenging. The ECCB, you know, they are very keen, led by Governor Antoine, they're very keen to see the digital transformation that this infrastructure, this central bank digital currency infrastructure, you know, they're very keen to see how this is gonna drive digital transformation and economic development within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. So, you know, there's been a lot of support from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, and we're very grateful to have that buy-in from them. They're all very excited about the project and want to see the impact that this technology will have on the region. So for us, it's just a matter of working day to day to meet the milestones and to achieve the vision that the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank has.
All right. So as we approach the launch of the DCash pilot, what are you most looking forward to, Luke, as product manager?
Well, that's a really easy question. I looking easy answer rather. I'm looking forward to use of the app. I'm looking forward to learning from the users how DCash is solving their problems daily, how it's adding value to their lives, and really learning how we as Bitt can make the product better from the market feedback. So after meeting with some of the stakeholders after the pilot is launched, hopefully we get a chance to sit down with them and learn some of the requirements, some of the improvements that we can make so that the product can be more robust and add even more value.
Okay. Right. So Stephen, as the overall project manager, what are you looking forward to most as we approach the launch of the DCash pilot?
Well, I'm excited to see Bitt's technology in use. We've built a full suite of products for a monetary system for central bank digital currency from the central bank, allowing them to mint, issue, redeem, and destroy currency, all the way through to financial institutions who can build out infrastructure with branches and wallets and different things, as well as the retail, merchant, and consumer ads. So I'm excited to see how these products will evolve to meet the needs of the customers in real life, real use scenarios. And I'm also keen to see how this infrastructure is going to foster financial innovation as people get more familiar with the technology and the infrastructure. I imagine we'll start to see very unique solutions being developed, leveraging DCash infrastructure to solve problems for businesses and consumers. So I think that this infrastructure is it holds a lot of promise for financial innovation, digital transformation, and also economic growth for the region. This technology, it delivers on that vision of a Caribbean single market and economy where all these economies are connected and you can transact between islands very easily. So I'm really excited to see that vision come to fruition and to see how people can get excited about this technology, being able to send money to friends and family, and being able to solve financial problems, as well as the whole financial inclusion bit. Every single citizen now has the potential to participate with digital payments. And I think that that's huge, because right now it's only certain segments of the societies that have access to digital payments. Most of the payments in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union are with analog payment methods, check or cash. So it's going to be really amazing to see that transformation happen and see the evolution of the technology as more stakeholders get involved and start to innovate and provide new solutions to solve day-to-day problems within the ECCU.
Okay. Well, thank you both, Luke and Stephen. This has been very insightful, and we look forward to the launch of DCash, and thank you for your contributions.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers.